Hello everyone, Very Scooter here, and welcome to Fan Friday number 100. Now this week's Fan Friday, I felt I'd go a little more in depth with how I make videos, just to kind of give you an idea of what it takes to make a video in this industry of sorts. So, I guess take everything you will see here with a grain of salt. It's not the best way to do everything, but it's how I take approaches to everything and how I do things. So before we get into the whole how I record things and maybe help you record stuff if you do videos yourself, I guess I should talk about what I use to record my content with. Now the very first thing, and probably one of the more important things you'll need if you're going to do commentary over games or Let's Plays, is your microphone. Now you don't need the best of the best. You just pick something that works good for you. I use a Samson Meteor mic, which the picture is on screen right now for you to look and ogle at and oogle at. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm a little under the weather, so you have to forgive me if I clear my throat a couple times throughout this. But that's the microphone I use. Now you don't have to use that microphone because before this I used the microphone on a not USB headset, and well, I should say in order. Before I used the Samson Meteor mic, I used a USB Logitech stand microphone, which I'll have pop up on screen here. And even before that, I basically used the mic that's built into most PC gaming headsets. And I use it in various ways, whether it's on my head, sitting on the desk in front of me, or things like that. But it's been various headsets like that. And the one that I currently use is the Razer Kakarius, which I think it has good microphone quality, but I haven't used the microphone on these things. I literally use them just for the headphones. So, just to reiterate, your choice in device does not determine your quality. How you present your content determines your quality. Next thing I want to show is basically how I record my vocal audio. Now, the way I record my vocal audio is not as impressive as you would like to think. That's how I record my vocal audio, with the built-in sound recorder on a Windows 7 computer. Believe me, I've tried using other audio recording programs, primarily Audacity, but every time I use Audacity, it seems to continually lag behind my footage, so I would have to constantly resync it. Whereas the default sound recorder does not lag at all for me, so I use that. Now there's probably a multitude of ways of using audio devices. I do know that some audio capture programs such as Fraps or Camtasia and some other video capture programs do have options to capture your audio as well. So let's keep all that in mind while we go through this endeavor here. And speaking of those, I guess it's time to move on to how I capture footage. Now right now, I'm actually capturing everything with Camtasia, as you can see here by the timer that you have up on the screen. But I only use that if a program does not allow you to, does not allow you to use OpenGL to capture footage. Outside of that, I use the program pretty much everybody uses to capture their footage, which is Fraps here. So now that I basically have explained how I capture footage and what I use to capture footage, actually, there's one thing I haven't shown, because this is kind of a thing that you can kind of pick and choose how you excuse me. You can kind of pick and choose how you edit footage or play footage based on how much money you want to sink into doing this. Because whether you're in it just for fun or whether you're in it for the long haul, it all is kind of determined by how much you're willing to sink into it. And I won't go any further into that because there's some people who will jump on the bandwagon of I'm a rich person trying to buy my way into fame and popularity, and I'd rather not get into that discussion. But I have chosen at least one game that will show part of what I'm talking about. There's actually two I could do here. Like, you could probably do almost all of your channel based off of Steam games, which I'll go ahead and pop Steam up on screen here just to do that. Steam games, PC games, homebrew, PC games, all that jazz. You could probably do all of that just to base your whole channel based off that. You don't have to buy any additional equipment other than the base necessity of a microphone and a capturing program. Other than that, you could probably do your entire channel based off of Steam if you wanted to, or other sets of platforms. But for other things that don't require Steam, you'll need some other, a few other options, or a few other pieces of equipment here, which I'll show you what I have, but do know there are alternatives. So what I'm going to show you is not the end-all be-all what you should use. Excuse me. And I should probably get my folder out here now that I'm going to do this. Now, as you all know, as of recent, I have acquired a 2DS, a Nintendo 2DS that has a recording device put into the back of it. That is this right here. That's what that is on my desktop. So if I were to turn on my 2DS right now, you would hear the 2DS. Excuse me. You would hear the 2DS game turning on and all that jazz. But I'm not going to open that right now. Other than that, for consoles, I actually use well, it's right here on the top. I use an AverMedia, or Aver TV, whatever the actual name is. I'll put it up on screen here in a little bit to show you what it is. And I have the box actually here somewhere just in case I need to move it around. But the AverMedia TV control thing, whatever it's called, is actually a desktop specific capture board for things that are not on your computer. And it is that particular system, that particular capture card is set up with 2 HDMI imports. But the second HDMI import is meant primarily for you to use the 10-in-1 dongle, which the 10-in-1 is basically options to capture S-video, AV cables, and component cables. So, with all that knowledge that you have there, take that at what you will for what I use to do things with and all that jazz. That is really descriptive, I know. All of it comes together in a little bit, but I just want to make sure you're aware that what I use is a desktop-oriented capture setup, not a laptop-oriented capture setup. So then, without further ado, how I actually capture it, and I'm going to use my capture bar on my computer to basically show how I go through capturing pretty much everything, because this is probably the best way I capture everything. So, usually when I go to start capture gameplay footage from a console, I usually start up the viewer for that console, which this is the AverMedia 3D TV Center, whatever. And we're here. And actually, I have not increased the sound of this at all. And also, I want to double check and make sure. Okay, it hasn't crashed yet. We're all good. So I'm here on the Wii U screen right now, but we're not actually playing anything in the Wii U. We're actually going to the Wii portion of the Wii U to show this off. So when I do pick a game, and actually because I have the Wii U plugged in, or the Wii U plugged in as such, I can actually show you this way. So when I pick a game, I go ahead and I scroll through, and I go pick my, well, we're gonna, like I say, we're gonna be on the Wii, so I go ahead and pick and do stuff this way. I'm gonna do TV and gamepad just for the heck of it. And I realize I'm not explaining things super well. I'm trying my best, but keep in mind this is me just trying to explain how I capture things and how I edit things, so you can learn a bit how that works. And here we go. So now if you'll notice in the lower right corner of the screen that we have here, you'll see that there is a yellow number. That is Fraps at work right now, ready to capture what I tell it to capture. So the game that we have, the game of choice that I have for you here today is actually Donkey Kong Country. So when I pick a game, I start up like this. I pick a game and say, okay, well, I want to do this and do something on it. So I get it set up, and okay, good, this is working. So I can actually put this Wiimote off my lap and be a little more precarious how I do it. So how I usually do this, I already have my sound recorder open, so I can't even show that process off. Basically, I start recording and I say, and then usually how I start off is I go, okay, I am recording my voice. And then I hit my record button with Fraps, and then I go from there. Now, I haven't tested if Fraps and Camtasia will work well enough with each other to allow me to show you what I need to show you. But we're gonna hope. So I'm actually going to sync and all that stuff right now for basically the aftermath of this video and to show you stuff. So, and I'm actually going to make a quick note to myself for editing, so that way I know exactly when to edit this part in. So, we'll just do it there. So I've set myself a time up so I can edit this together afterwards. So, and we're waiting. Alright, so I'm recording my voice. I'm in the game now. And end. Left, left, right, left, right, 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 left, left, right, left, right. Now all that jazz I did there was an audio sync. That was basically just to make sure that I can match up the voice from the microphone matches the audio from the game, so it's not like so for example, when we do play a little bit of this, if I'm in a bonus area, I'm talking about riding around on Rambi, and they talk about the bonus area after I'm already out of the bonus area. Synchronization is very key in doing what you do. So then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to get this started. Now actually, it seems like everything is working well together, though it might bug out and crash a little bit while I'm going to go to edit it, but who knows. You will need the classic controller. You know what? This is the sad thing. This actually means this is the first time I've started playing this game. Anyway. Now I'm going to go on to, basically for the very first level of this game, I'm going to go ahead and talk like I'm starting out a Let's Play of Donkey Kong Country. So I'm going to get out of character of this whole explaining to you how I do my video recordings and editings, and go into the whole I'm recording an episode persona. So I'm going to home button and reset it, and then I'll get started. So it's a little weird to do, but pay attention, because how I'm going to do this will basically show you how I'm going to do it in the after video. So let's see. Reset. So now we're at the point where we finished the video. The video's been rendered and edited. And I apologize for the random awkward cut here to where we are. Camtasia only recorded 20 minutes of a 30-minute recording. So we have this to work with now. So then we move on to the part of the recording where we actually put everything all together. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open up my editing suite, which some people use Sony Vegas, some people use the Adobe suite. I use neither. I use this one right over here, Power Director, more specifically Power Director 12. So now you're going to see a little bit behind the scenes of this current video already, because I've already been in the process of editing this and stuff crashed on me. But so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our audio and put it in here to edit up. Now I'm not going to show you everything I do with editing a video together in this program. I still want to leave, you know, a little bit of what I do in mystery and a little bit of, you know, keep myself viable on the market, but I'll show you a basic thing of what I do when it comes to editing. So you remember that audio we had earlier where I did the synchronization? Well, that's the first thing I do with this, is I put that in here, down here in the microphone track, and we'll just say it's here. So I put it in, I extend out the timeline just so I can look at it closely and listen at it closely and get a better timing on it. And then I say, okay, let's listen to it and see what we got. So I listen for the end, because I always do the same lead up, so I know exactly when to time it. So I wait for when I've heard myself say end and heard a keyboard key, for example, and that's when I know, okay, that's where it starts. So then I crop that down and right there, and then I drop in the video that we have. So the video gets put in, and then I listen to it for the synchronization, left, right, all that jazz I did earlier. And then make sure that the audio syncs up with that. So once that syncs up, I go and shrink it down a little bit, and I look at the previews here, as soon as they load up properly, because they aren't going to load up properly, because it's still too wide out. But I go look and go, okay, where roughly did I start playing the game? Or I look at, if I had it, my microphone track, I look down here and see, okay, when did I stop talking and then start talking again after my sync? And see, oh, I started right about here. So then I watch it a little bit and see, okay, that's where my frame started. So I back up a little bit, get a good solid starting spot, which is right about here. I crop both my vocal and the game, and I slide them both back to the beginning of the reel. Then what I do is I will grab, you know, I'm just kind of speeding through this part, but I basically will sit and listen and watch, make sure there's not anything I can edit in, pictures, audio, anything like that while I'm editing. And then when I get to the end of it, which I'm going to cut ahead here to show this, go to the end of the line, just be like, okay, well, here's the end, and let me get down here and look at my audio. Okay, that's about right where I stopped talking. So just back it up a little bit, trim it off, split it, delete it. Then I stick in my end title card, and I let it render. And that's a majority of what it comes to when it comes to actually rendering this stuff. Once again, not super complicated, but excuse me, not super complicated, but it is kind of necessary just to give you a nice feel, a nice flow, if you will. Now, like I also said, I'm going to do a little bit of doctoring up with this, you know, make it my pseudo to 16:9 look to it that I do with a lot of these 4:3 games. Which, if you're not aware of what I mean, 4:3 is like the old CRT monitors, the old CRT televisions that were around about 10-15 years ago that used to play a lot of GameCube and Super Nintendo games on. And giving them an illusion that they're actually a full screen port to an HD TV kind of game. Basically, for example, Donkey Kong Country up to Tropical Freeze. Kind of simulating that transition with an old school game. Now, something else I do want to mention when it comes to basically picking your game of choice when you want to record it. For this particular video, I actually went and used the fortune cookie option within Backloggery. So I just kind of winged it for which game I picked, although I kind of went and made sure, you know, okay, I can't do that game, this doesn't show up what I want to show, can't do that game, this doesn't show up what I want to show, stop, don't give me that same game again, I can't show off what I want to show with that. But then I found Donkey Kong Country and I said, yes, this works perfectly, this illustrates what I want to illustrate. But that's just for this video. If you are choosing if you do have a video you want to pick and play, make sure you pick a game that you enjoy. It may not be popular, or it may be popular, who knows. Regardless, the major thing is to make sure you remember that you enjoy what you're playing. If you have fun, your audience has fun. And that's a major thing to remember. Now, I do thank you all so much for watching video 100 of Fan Friday. And this little video here that basically is you kind of picking my brain apart, seeing what I think and what I do when it comes to recording. So I hope you enjoyed learning the process of what I go through when it comes to recording projects for you guys. Now, if you have any questions upon any of the steps I've taken in recording this, or anything that you want to ask questions about, please go ahead and ask them. I do welcome any and all questions about this, because, you know, to me, in my head, this is me helping other people kind of do the same thing and have fun with this themselves if they wish to. And if there are enough questions, I'll piece it all together in a Q&A video where I'll actually feature something. I'll feature a game that's related directly with the question that's answered, or the question that is asked. But that will be my time for this video. Do remember, this is part of Fan Friday, so if you do have any suggestions for future Fan Friday titles, always leave them in the comment section down below. I take all requests on a first come first served basis. Also, in relation to that Q&A, to the Q&A bit, if you want to ask a question for a Q&A video outside of this video, you can certainly ask those questions as well. I'll try and piece it apart if it's actually a question about this 100th video, or if it's just a general question about me, pretty easily. But do put something there. It's just like, this is for Q&A, you know, put something there to help me differentiate what your question is meant for a little bit easier, in case I'm dumb enough to try and answer it in the comments. I've done it before. Now do stay tuned after we're done here, because the next little bit that's going to come up is basically the aftermath of what I just showed you how to capture moments before. And I know it's all been sped up, but you'll get to see the actual process that went into that. So I'm gonna fade away, but thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in Fan Friday number 101. Hello everyone, praise good to hear, and welcome to a new project. Now most of you already know what this game is, starting off here, because pretty much everybody and their grandmother has played this game. I'm a little unversed in it, especially in the whole 100% aspect of Donkey Kong Country. I've spoiled the name of the game, but I figured I'll play through it. I may try and go for 100%, I'll see what I feel like shortly after I start playing this. I may just do a playthrough for funsies. So Donkey Kong Country was a game that was designed for the Super Nintendo, and why can't I go into the game? Oh, that was weird. So, playing Donkey Kong Country here. Now we've gotten past the very first obstacle of the opening menu. For Donkey Kong Country, very simple game, and its button layout is, I'm basically gonna play the button layout as if you were playing on a Super Nintendo. I myself am playing on the Wii's Virtual Console of the game, so keep that in mind while I'm playing. But I will try and tell you everything as if we're playing on an original Super Nintendo. So, Donkey Kong jumps with B, rolls with Y, and that's about the majority of the controls you'll need to know for this game. It's a really simple 2-button system. The item we got there is a 1-up. And there's varying colors of those balloons that will give you 1-ups. But the story, for those of you who don't know for Donkey Kong Country, is this right here. The Kremlings have stolen all of Donkey Kong's bananas. It is a sad day in the land of Kong, where we cannot eat bananas in peace. I will not stop until every single banana thieving Kremling is dead. And here, we actually have, well, press Y to pick up barrels, by the way, but here we have basically our second hit, or our grade A. We had basically our second hit that we can use there, or our extra buddy, which is actually a very well-known character in this point in both video game cultures. Diddy Kong. Oddly enough, I personally think a lot more people know Diddy Kong over Donkey Kong. Now, there are a few differences between Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong. Donkey Kong is stronger, and as such, you can actually do a move that Diddy cannot do, which is the ground slam. Pressing down and Y will let you slam the ground. You can do this in certain areas to knock up items. That was actually a fluke. And I think these butterflies indicate that there are special items there. I could be horribly wrong. I have not played enough of this game in my own time to know. So Donkey Kong can also jump on certain enemies that Diddy cannot. Speaking of Diddy, switch over to Diddy using the D-pad, or the select button. Diddy is a lot more agile. And this is how a lot of people do speedruns of the game. Now do what I'm doing right here. Get yourself 4 extra lives. And also the letters K, O, and G will be spread out throughout levels for you to collect. Collect all 4 letters, get an extra life. Now I actually hit the ground right here by accident, really, and popped out those bananas. Basically, if you fall from a high enough height... Well, actually, I'm going to go back to the start of the stage to emphasize this point. Okay, I did kill that naughty. If you jump from a high enough height on certain areas, you will actually open up special items that are hidden in the ground. Now, I said before, Y is the whole thing. So you can throw items by letting go... Throw barrels and items by letting go of Y. The barrel has unique the iron barrel has unique properties where you can ride on it, and only the iron barrel can do this. But I'm gonna let the iron barrel roll away at this point. Now, Donkey Kong Country is known for its vast amounts of secrets, such as secret levels, bonus turpentines, serpentines even, if you will. But we'll actually get in those bonuses right now. Say hello to the first of many animal buddies, Rambi. Good old standard. Now Rambi automatically attacks anything that's in front of him. You can also tap Y to make him do his horn butt automatically. That's also how you get up a running start. Also, dimension secrets, because there are secrets. Secrets will be strewn throughout these levels as such, hidden in walls, which you can blow open with TNT barrels, which you have not encountered yet. And you can also encounter them. You can also open them up with Rambi's horn. Now those enemies I'm destroying there, Clump, I believe they're called. Diddy cannot jump on them and hurt them. He can roll into them with Y, but Donkey Kong can jump on them and defeat them. Also another secret for our lovely palette. Also, it's a roulette secret. Now most of the secrets you don't actually have to defeat, you don't actually have to beat to win. Any misconception of such you should probably not listen to, but as long as you find the secret, you've completed it in the world of Donkey Kong Country. Later games in the series, are not so forgiving. And I didn't show off that you can jump on Clump to defeat him. We also get to show off another feature now, which is the halfway barrel. Because I'm dumb and jumped into a pit, we get to show off the halfway barrel. I also get to show off that I am horribly incompetent at this game, apparently. Now I'm actually going to skip Ramby because we found the secrets, and I think the game will count that. But if not, I'll tell you how the game will count that if we don't do that now. Now, as I was showing it here, Diddy cannot jump on Clump to defeat him, but he can roll into him to defeat him. And the end of the stage is right over here. Now, if you go up, I think on top of these trees, which you cannot see, there are some bananas for you. Now, this is definitely not the stage that has a secret in a pit, but you can also find secret bonuses by basically following trails of bananas. Always trust the banana when going for secrets. And with that, we've completed the first stage. Excuse me. And I actually want to show off something really quick here, as shown here. When you defeat a stage, if you find all the bonuses in the stage, an exclamation point will appear after the stage name. This basically says, you have found all secrets. Good job.